Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things technology and digital transformation in finance departments. Today we have a very controversial topic: why Excel is dead and automation is the future. Yes, you heard that right. As businesses undergo a digital transformation and a digital journey, spreadsheets are becoming a thing of the past. In this video I'll be making a case for why automation solutions like KNIME are the way forward and how they outperform traditional Excel spreadsheets. So let's get started. So first let's have a look at some of the limitations of Microsoft Excel. One of the biggest limitations of Microsoft Excel is that it's not made for large datasets. It's rather usable for small to medium datasets. So what does that really mean? Well, if you have a table with hundreds of thousands of rows and every cell in that table has VLOOKUPs, it can take forever to load and to calculate the results of these formulas. And it gets even worse with nested formulas. Processing and analyzing large data sets can be really slow and especially error prone in Excel, because the problem is not when you have that nifty NA error. The problem is if you have a value and you don't see that it was not calculated the right way. These limitations basically can result in a decrease of productivity and an increase of cost. Besides that, Excel lacks advanced analysis functions because it was never made for it, and you don't find anything like easy to understand machine learning models within Microsoft Excel. And Excel also struggles with complex data processing and especially its analysis. So what are the benefits of automation solutions like, for example, KNIME? Well, tools like KNIME are designed for handling large data sets with ease. KNIME can easily automate data processing for hundreds of thousands of rows or even millions of rows, which in return fastens up your data processing, your data cleaning, your ETL tasks. Plus, it gives you all the visualization tools plus machine learning algorithms out of the box, all in an easy to understand visual no coding environment. And the thing with automation is that it can massively speed up your work and provide more accurate results. One additional benefit of these solutions that were automated are that once you have set up your automation, you reduce human error. It runs automatically and you don't have to type in any manual formulas and maybe target the wrong cell, the wrong column, and all that nasty kind of stuff that usually happens quite often in Microsoft Excel. KNIME also provides some very sophisticated advanced analysis solutions out of the box. You want to do a random forest learner or prediction model, no problem in KNIME. One thing that's also very annoying about Microsoft Excel is its lack of scalability. File sizes tend to grow very fast and the overall file handling becomes very clunky and very uncomfortable. Plus, version control and to a certain extent collaboration has its pitfalls within Excel. If you don't set up something manually, you basically have no such things as version control, which for example in KNIME are baked in. And as more people tend to become involved in large datasets, you will soon face data inconsistencies and basically also somewhat of an unmanageable file. Also, if you're not deeply into VBA, automation is really hard. Yes, Excel also has access to Power Query to a certain extent, depending on how you connect it with other tools, but also you have to learn basically a new language, be it either DAX or VBA, or you learn Power Query, whereas KNIME, for example, compared to that, has a very visual approach. You still can apply programming logic, but you don't have to learn a new language. So talking about KNIME, what are its benefits? when we look at scalability. Well, in general, it's fair to say that KNIME can provide more scalable solutions. First of all, talking about reuse and sharing. Due to things like it's a file type, a model that KNIME uses where you can have relative file path and share everything in one package, reusing and sharing your KNIME workflows makes it really easy to collaborate with your colleagues that are also using KNIME. Plus, in addition, KNIME has a lot of import and export nodes that connected to all kinds of systems. You can read an Excel file, give it some meaning, and then push it to a Power BI dashboard. So if that's something you're interested in, you might want to subscribe to this channel because we'll cover that soon. An additional benefit is the fact that you document your process along the way. While you're building your workflow, you label your nodes. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to have a look at the video that's just popping up somewhere above here, because there I give you an introduction what nodes mean. You chain basically your nodes together, you label them, and by doing that you not only show yourself what you're doing, but you're documenting your process along the way in a very easy to understand manner. Basically, you get away from these nasty reverse engineering tasks, a formula that goes like if VLOOKUP blah 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 with references to $A, $15, or if then, these nested complex formulas. Really hard to understand. KNIME is much clearer and much better there in documenting what you're doing. Another big advantage of automation is, of course, that you do it once. If you next month, next week, or tomorrow have the same dataset and need to run it again, you just plug in your new dataset, which usually takes you only a few seconds, then you run your automation and you're done. With Excel, you usually always start from scratch again because you have a table and not a process, and you have to recreate that table over and over again. Let's have a quick look at cost. The Microsoft Office suite packs that include Excel are usually not that expensive, but this can add up. I understand that the Office suite is the de facto standard in a lot of enterprises, but just look at the advantages that I told you of tools like KNIME. And KNIME, for example, is open source, so you basically don't have to pay a license fee. Yes, you also have to learn KNIME, like you have to learn any new tool, but that's what this channel is for, right? Also, lost productivity is a huge issue. I know of use cases where people have spent 30 to 40% of their valuable high-cost country time just to mingle with Excel data, just to clean up Excel data, not automated, but all manually and all over and over and over again. And quite honestly, I always hated that. Please let me just quote the big Gary Vaynerchuk here. He said already years ago, we are not living in a time where we do shit we hate. So there you have it, folks. In today's world, automation is the future, and traditional things like Excel spreadsheets are becoming a thing of the past. So automation solutions like KNIME provide you cost-effective, flexible, and scalable solutions to overcome all these spreadsheets limitations. So what about you? Do you think I'm totally misled here? Then leave a comment down below where you say yes to Excel. If you're in my camp of automation and think it's correct what I'm saying, then just write go for KNIME in the comments down below. See you in the next video, guys. So if you want to try out KNIME, have a look at this video, or if you want to see a fun nerdy use case utilizing KNIME for role-playing, have a look at this video.